On the surface, she possessed many of the characteristics of an effective messenger. The daughter of Priam, king of Troy, and his second wife, Queen Hecuba, Cassandra had status. She was beautiful, too, tall and elegant, with dark brown curly locks of hair that coursed gracefully over her slender shoulders. Her eyes, similarly russet in colour, captured others' attention with such a piercing force that they would often be overcome with wonder. But perhaps her most impressive feature was one most people only dream of possessing: the gift of prophecy. It was said that Cassandra's ability to interpret and communicate the will of the gods was a gift from Apollo, as part of his attempt to seduce her. She predicted soldiers hiding inside a huge wooden horse left outside the gates of Troy. She foretold King Agamemnon's demise. She prophesied that her cousin, Aeneas, would establish a new nation in Rome. She even foresaw her own death. But Apollo's gift to Cassandra was a cursed one that caused her much anguish and, ultimately, led to insanity and death. For although she agreed to pledge herself to Apollo in exchange for this precious gift, Cassandra then rebuffed his advances, so she was punished in the most merciless way. Forcing his lips upon hers, the god spat into her mouth and swore that she would never again be believed by anyone. "In his struggle to win me," she sobbed, "I consented to him, but then I broke my word. Ever since that fault, I could persuade no one of anything." Cassandra may be a mythical character, but she represents a fascinating paradox. She possessed knowledge and shared it with people who stood to benefit from listening to what she had to say, yet no one paid her any attention or believed her. It is a paradox that we encounter every day. There are plenty of people around who make accurate predictions, whose proposals are carefully based on the evidence available, or whose points of view are eminently sensible, but who have the misfortune to go unheeded, even to be mocked. They suffer from what has become known as the curse of Cassandra. From Trojan horses to Wall Street bears. In the late 1990s, the US stock exchanges were a positively bullish place to be, with financiers shoveling seemingly bottomless pits of cash into .coms. It seemed everyone on Wall Street had bought into the idea that riches beyond compare were waiting to be made. Everyone, that is, except for one investor. The highest profile investor. Warren Buffett, the then sprightly 69-year-old founder and chairman of investment behemoth Berkshire Hathaway, was unyielding in his disdain for what he described as the irrational exuberance of the market. After a heady experience of that kind, normally sensible people drift into behavior akin to that of Cinderella at a ball. Overstaying the festivities, he remarked, will eventually bring on pumpkins and mice. Many chastised Buffett for his gloomy commentary and his ominous warnings of a bubble about to burst. The champions of .com companies claimed that Berkshire Hathaway's chairman, a well-known technophobe, would miss out on the oceans of profit that stood to be made. For a while, the markets agreed. In the late 1990s, the company's shares fell, but Buffett remained steadfast, adding a mid-sized energy supplier and a furniture rental business to his company's portfolio, further reinforcing the market's perception that he was a Luddite. Drawing parallels between his pessimistic prophecies and those of Cassandra, investors dubbed Buffett the Wall Street Cassandra. Of course, the markets did eventually pop, with the previously dismissive investors, and not Buffett, suffering the reputational damage. Their Wall Street Cassandra sneer proved unwise. In the long term, it also turned out to be inaccurate. Ultimately, Buffett was publicly vindicated and his credibility soared to a level that has remained largely untouched ever since. He ceased to carry the curse of the Wall Street prophet who goes unheeded in their own lifetime.